What's going on, everybody? It is your boy Dylan Mathews back at it again with another hometown take. And today, you already know what's going on. It's draft night. Round one is getting to conclude. I am talking about the Atlanta Falcons and that's kind of my feeling on Drake London. I get it. I understand it. That's just my feeling on it. I understand Calvin Ridley is gone. You know, you needed another weapon because your wide receiver room was poo up until this point. Olamide Zaccheaus was your best wide receiver. Kyle Pitts was your best weapon overall. And Olamide Zaccheaus was your actual best wide receiver, maybe next to Bird. But, you know, so I get it. Like, you want another big dude, big body receiver next to Kyle Pitts. You got two big weapons now, two, like, basketball type dudes you can just throw it up to. Two 50-50 ball dudes who can just go up and get it. Two guys who should be effective in the red zone. Like, I understand it. Drake London is one of the best, arguably the best wide receiver in this class. But Jermaine Johnson was right there. George Karlaftis was right there. Now, Karlaftis is still available. The New York Jets have had a great night thus far, getting Jermaine Johnson, just now trading back into the first round. They also got, who else they get? They get Garrett Wilson? I can't remember. I've been working the draft. I worked the draft show from 8 to 11, so I've been doing crazy stuff. That's why I'm a little late to the party for the reaction, you feel me? And I'm going to actually show you my actual reaction because I did record it while I was posted up in the studio. So I'm going to show you that here in a second, but I just want to break down how I feel about Drake London. I'll talk about it after I show you the video too. So, like, Drake London's cool, I get it, but I really wanted a pass rusher. I wouldn't even be mad at the offensive lineman because Evan Neal still there? I think Evan Neal might have been gone. Evan Neal was gone. He was taking the Giants right before. But Jermaine Johnson was there. Karlaftis was there. Like, you had dudes that you could have got instead. I mean, even Jordan Davis. Like, I wanted a defensive player. Now, Sauce was gone. Derek Stingley was taken afterwards, I believe. Yes. But anywho, we did start a run of wide receivers because wide receivers were getting taken left and right after we picked Drake London. So we did start a wide receiver run, a long wide receiver run. But Drake London is the pick, you know, so there we go. You know, two offensive guys back-to-back years with 4 and 8. So there it is. But let me go ahead and show you now my reaction to the Atlanta Falcons selecting Drake London with the number 8 overall pick. Take a look.
Right now. Jermaine Johnson, as Arch told you, a very, very talented, highly rated, highly thought of edge rusher out of Florida State. You also have Jordan Davis. I know that is an intriguing name to some Georgia fans. On the board isn't too early for him. Charles Cross, the tackle out of Mississippi State, on the board. We also have not yet had a wide receiver selected in these first 7 picks.
That is correct.
There's no way the Falcons will look at that this early.
No, I think it's in the mix here.
I'll be mad as hell, boy. They wouldn't get us. I'll be mad as hell. Y'all better just go ahead and draft Jermaine Johnson.
I think they expected maybe one of the corners to still be sitting here as well.
Y'all better go ahead and get Jermaine Johnson.
Real quickly, I don't think I saw 6'7", 337 look so good. He looks like a tight end, and he can play everywhere. Tremendous blocker, so a great get for the Giants there at offensive tackle. Kind of solidifies their offensive line. For Atlanta, to me, it's going to depend on where you have the wide receiver, the offensive tackle, and the edge rusher. Where do you have them ranked on your board?
Yep.
Is Jermaine Johnson the highest rated player, or is he close to the best player on your board? If he's not, then he will come off the board. There's some talk about a wide receiver coming off the board here. I wouldn't want that either. Charles Cross, an outstanding pass blocking a guy that blocked 719 pass blocks, only 2 tackles, only 2 sacks given up at Mississippi State. So you got all that to weigh out. Or if you're Atlanta, you say, you know what? We don't see our guy. We're going to bounce back a little bit and grab another selection.
Well, the Falcons already with a lot of draft capital could add to that capital even more with a potential trade back. And again, there was a report earlier today that the Houston Texans are eager to move up, maybe back into the top 10. The Texans obviously have already taken Stingley 3rd overall. My thing is, if you're going to entertain an offer to get a team into the top 10, you have to demand a first-round pick next year, in addition to something else this year.
Well, you probably got to get this year's one, which you would get in the swap, next year's one, and maybe even something else this weekend.
I agree. I mean, maybe a 3rd and a 1st next year. And of course, the Falcons are going to have a lot of picks tomorrow night for the 2nd and 3rd rounds of the NFL draft. John Chuckley, by the way, will have live coverage tomorrow night here on Sports Radio 92.9 The Game for night 2 of the draft. So the Falcons now, with 4 minutes remaining in their window now to make this selection, the 8th overall, they are on the clock.
Well, here's the deal, Mike. You don't have a track record, all right? You don't have a track record on Terry Fontenot. If you want to look at Mickey Loomis, Loomis has moved up in the draft to take guys. I don't necessarily remember New Orleans moving back, but it's certainly something I think they've probably done in the past. That's his tutor when it comes to this, but I think that's a bonus for Atlanta, as people don't really know what Terry's going to do.
They've made the pick. The Falcons have made the pick. There will be no trade. So, as 5,000 people inside of Mercedes-Benz Stadium cast their eyes skyward to the Halo board, where they're watching the video coverage of the draft, we are about to have the announcement and the reaction of all those here.
And it's going to be Drake London. Get him ready.
Got you.
Done as many expected.
I knew this was the pick. I've known it, and it's just unbelievably bad.
Have they done something
I'm
maybe a
disappointed.
little less expected? Shoring up a need on the offensive line and perhaps drafting an offensive tackle? Or has Terry Fontenot
This is terrible, bro.
pulled a major surprise? We are going to find out momentarily as the commissioner gets all the paperwork in Las Vegas and gets set to approach the podium. Very tense moments here inside the stadium. Let's go to the commissioner as the Falcons are about to announce who they have selected with the 8th overall pick.
In the 2022 NFL Draft, the Atlanta Falcons select Drake London.
Nah, Drake London, bro. What are you doing?
USC.
Drake London, wide receiver, USC.
You guys are clear. Don't like the pick, but you guys are clear.
He's rated as the #1 receiver in the draft by Pro Football Focus and Legends Football. He was named the Pac-12 Offensive Player of the Year.
What are we doing? Why? Why are we drafting this man? You guys are live.
Well, Drake London, 6'2",
No! Why did we draft this man? Why do? Oh, bro, I can't. Oh, I can only imagine what John Tucker is saying right now. I know he is pissed.
Oh my God.
Bro, what? Why did we draft Drake London? Jermaine Johnson was right there. We could have got Karlaftis. We could have got Jermaine Johnson.
I gotta redo this whole damn
Drake London, bro? Drake London? Bro, we could have got. Oh, what? Drake London?
With a 6'5".
We just got Kyle Pitts last year. Our offense better be good.
And now all of a sudden you got two monsters on the field. They can go get the ball.
One of the comparisons that I see here is T. Higgins, but maybe better with the yards after catch skill set than a T. Higgins.
Yeah, Higgins a little bit more top-end speed, I think, than you're going to see out of Drake London.
Nah, Drake London. We could have got Jermaine. We could have got George, bro. What are we doing? We don't. He was right there, bro. Do we not care about defense?
Like a highly recruited, highly thought of basketball player.
I'm there, bro.
And
Come
like a
on,
lot of
man.
guys who know position.
Drake
That's
London?
the skill set that helped him flourish at the collegiate level. Dave's right about the high point, the 50-50 stuff. I think the comp on Mike Evans is the one that you go with here.
I can't,
Michael
bro.
Thomas,
I
right?
can't.
Michael Thomas,
I
Mike,
can't.
I just don't know that he
We
has the
really
top-end
drafted a
speed,
wide
but
receiver.
This is a guy that's going to move the chains.
Why?
He scores touchdowns. Last year, Joe played, what, just 7
We really drafted a wide receiver.
72 grabs, over 1,000 yards and 8 touchdowns in that limited action after getting hurt. So Drake London off the board. He was rated, I had him rated number 2 on my board at the receiver spot. There were some other people that had him rated number 1 as number 1 receiver. But I can tell you that the fans here thought that maybe the former Georgia Bulldog was going to come off the board in Johnson. So,
And the other thing too is he didn't run the 40 because of the ankle injury.
Right.
That's the reason there was no 40 posted. But you know, does he? And Dave's right. The speed. I'm not sure about the speed concept here in terms of guys to be able to burn you, but it does give you 2 absolute behemoths. Now, red zone becomes a completely different operation with Kyle Pitts and Drake London on the field.
well, think about the size of the receivers that Arthur had in Tennessee. You had big guys, you know, big receivers, likes big receivers. And from what I understand, this guy's a willing blocker in the running game too. And don't discount that. If you want to run the football, you've got to have guys that are going to block people downfield. And at 6'4", 220 pounds, this guy can lay a lick too.
There are quite a few fans gathered around our broadcast position here at Mercedes-Benz Stadium.
Wow,
and,
bro.
Some of them had very, very emotional reactions to this pick. Let's now look ahead, if we can, for a moment, guys, at what might still be to come in this draft tonight for the Falcons, because some of the emotion that we're seeing from the fans here, I've seen a couple people now that to me they would have liked to have seen maybe an edge rusher or potentially an offensive tackle. But we've talked about the Falcons draft capital for a moment. And the Falcons in round 2 tomorrow have 43 and 58. They also in round 3
better go get
have
them an edge
74
rusher.
and 82.
Cause yikes.
That to me tells me you could, if there's someone maybe later
Drake
tonight
London.
in one of those.
So there's my reaction, guys. Like I said, I'm just like, oh, in the moment, I'm like, bro, because I thought we was getting Jermaine Johnson. I was going to be hyped. We got a former Georgia boy. Obviously, he played more at Florida State, but I was about to be hyped. And then it's like, oh, Drake London? Like, that's what we doing, really? Like, because I was, like I said, I wanted us to go defense. I wanted us to go offensive line or I want us to go defensive line or offensive line or quarterback with number 8. I did not want us to go wide receiver, but there you have it. We went Drake London, so there it is, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. We'll see what we can do next year. I mean, we'll see. We got a lot of draft left, you know. Maybe George Karlaftis falls into the second round. George Karlaftis falls into the second round and we are able to scoop him up. I'm okay with that. So we'll see. We still got time to get a pass rusher, and maybe a pretty good pass rusher in George Karlaftis if he falls to the second round. And there are other guys too. So we'll see what happens the rest of the way. I'll be coming with more reactions. We'll see. But so far, not the greatest start. I'm just like, man, I'm real on Drake London. But like this video, comment your thoughts, and subscribe to the channel. More post-draft reactions coming soon. If something happens, we trade back into the first round somehow tonight, I'll obviously do another video. Yeah, but if not, I'll drop some videos tomorrow about our second and third round picks. We got a total of 4 picks tomorrow, 2 seconds, 2 thirds, I believe. So I'll have reactions to all of them. But Drake London at number 8, let me know how you guys are feeling in the comments down below. Again, like this video, comment your thoughts, subscribe to the channel. Until I talk to you guys next time, peace.